All right, there we go. Okay, so interestingly enough, when I started up the app, the new stream manager mode is missing. Like the new one, the one that they introduced and everything is broken. Like where it disconnected me from chat a minute after being in it. It looks like they backed up the app to the previous version. Low volume? Low volume. All right, let's see what's going on here. Maybe I bumped something somewhere. That better? Possibly a little loud, but. Make sure this is still on. Yeah, that's still on. Why does it still say emote only chat? Huh. Let me fix that real quick. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have to double check with Seribot then too. Let me turn this a little bit back down because it is like, it was like when I turned it up, it was peeking into the red. So it may be your side. All right, let's see. That's right around the peaky thing, but we're doing better. No, I'm going to have to double check Seribot because I don't know why it would have stopped randomly doing its thing then. Because if it didn't, do it, we're going to have to figure that out. Anyway, a couple things. This is still set at the angle I need it at. This is the old Swanson one that I bought, probably 10 years ago. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not really good. But anyway, I found one that's really nice. And if you take a look at it, you can't. See if we can get it to focus in. You can possibly see the emblem there. I found a Sweetheart bevel gauge. So now I have two. But I actually do like this one a little bit better because it's got that nice slide lock as opposed to this thing which has physically fallen off before it's shaken itself loose. So I was looking for one with a slide lock like this. I didn't care that it was Stanley or anything, but I got it for $4. Stanley Sweetheart, $4. Yeah, that is true. I frequent Hansa's stuff quite honestly. 'Cause I find his stuff fun to watch. So last time we made these two massive sliding dovetails. This time we're gonna groove. And I was thinking to myself, these don't have to be full through sliding dovetails. Plus, we have this nice little live edge area that we took the little bit of bark that was there off so that I don't get any, and you can see just a tiny bit here. I don't physically have to have it go all the way in. Now that I'm looking at it, it's probably better if I did. I'll just have to bevel that part out and make it look nice. I was thinking about stopping it, but now that I'm looking at it, that's a lot of material if I stop it that way. Oh, wait, I forgot. Even if we stop it, there's a good chunk of this that's coming off because we're going to be cutting that out. We should probably cut the feet out before I do anything. You're the right foot, right? 1, 1. No, you're supposed to be here, like that. But I mean, like, these are going to be extending out anyways. You know, bring it in so I can tenon into the front face, but I can also cut, maybe align the arrows correctly. So I can cut out the foot right here and have it cut, you know, stop about an inch in so that I don't have to worry about this part here and retain that nice little live edge at the back and not cut through it and make it look ugly. You know, just a little bit of, maybe we should try that. So we're actually gonna, I mean, yeah, I've got this scribed where I was gonna do it, but a couple swipes with a plane, you won't even know that it existed. So, let's see if it'll follow me. Do you recognize me? I know I'm starting to get a beard again, so you should start to recognize me again. All right, so over here at the toolbox. We should unlock the bottom and swing this baby out. You know, at some point, we're going to have this all nice and set up where I don't have to do that, or where it's not on this. Oh, sorry, it's going to be a little bit seasick here. Okay, so to do a stopped dovetail groove, we're going to want one of my favorite tools, and we get to try out the big boy. Version, because I mean, I already have the little boy version. You can come back in here, but the basic idea is we are going to want to drill a stop hole in here so that while we're playing with everything, it will. Okay, so put the little guy back in because screw it, I want to play with the big one. I found him, I want to buy him. And for something as fun as this, might as well use my depth stop. All right. Also, before I lock the screen again, look at this. I have 2 shelves for lumber now. 2 shelves. Okay. Get it to lock in on me. Did it work? Okay, it worked. All right. As much as I want to use the biggest one I've got, it's actually better if I use one that's roughly half. Just so, because that one is about 3/4, which means I still have to chisel out. It's better to use roughly half so that we get a good clean cut. But I think, yeah, I want to preserve. I want to preserve this edge really. So I'm thinking maybe, what do we think? An inch is a little, actually an inch would do. It'd give us a decent amount. Register off the face that is best here. Actually, register with something. That was just the cast iron lock. Nobody cares about it. See if I can get this to register nicely here. Okay, it still registers good. Okay, good, good, good. Oh, geez, that is what I forgot. I look up and I see my hot plate has no coffee on it. I will be back, guys, in 2 shakes of a leg. All right, now it needs to sit on the hot plate for a little bit because it's been just sitting out. All right, there we go. We got coffee. Oh, I'm also looking into a music option for just like, you know, kind of like hold music for the wait screens, the beginning and end screens kind of thing. I am looking into an option for that. Just something to put in there that is easy to listen to, that will not get me in trouble with authority. All right, let's hang you back on your little gimlet and try to get my bench a little less hectic looking. All right, so let's here we go. Oh my, this Stanley actually says made in the US. Also, 1 second here. I did take it apart to inspect it, and I'm looking at exactly what I didn't want to see. Okay. I can tinker with it later. I think let's go ahead, just take her apart. I think I set the jaws a little too shallow for it to be effective. Or if you're supposed to actually, well, you're looking fine. Maybe I'm just used to the one that I have, poking all the high hell out, but. I'm probably just used to the old one. All right, well, problems abound. I'll have to inspect those jaws later. There we go. Because I think I set the jaws in a little wrong. Anyway. Now we go, how deep did we want this baby? We wanted it that deep. And I go, once again, this is supposed to be put on, the depth stop is supposed to be put on before I put the bit in. Because let me just put this here and just do. I'm really happy though that I found this little guy. Okay, now that you're in. Not quite wide enough yet. Okay, still not quite wide enough. Okay, so that's a good thing to know. You do run out of room on these depth stops. Probably can't do much more than a 16 on them. There we go. Let's start tightening a little bit here. And what I'm doing is just, hey, where's my depth line? Let's set the bit right to it. Or a little bit above it, I don't know yet. Let's find out. Okay. All right. There we go. Now we got this huge Stanley contraption on here. We're only going to go as deep as we need. Maybe a hair deeper or a hair shallower, but either way. Well, we try. We try. I can't wait to see Pausanias back up and running. Okay. Dip. See if I can walk the bit over just a little bit. Like nothing happened. We don't really want to blow out what we're doing here. And here I am forgetting the biggest thing you need. Whoa, what do we got here? And because this actually works, well, thank you for the follow, Hammer. glad you found us. My name is, I don't know if I should be giving the raid speech here, but my name's Wes. This is Plain Old Woodworking. About Wednesdays and Sundays, I'm typically doing something hand tool woodworking. Right now, we are working on making some stopped sliding dovetails for a Moxon vise. Yep, I am glad I invested in that longer throw, Mecca. Already happy. Just gotta clear out the gunk. Not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna start with hand tool woodworking. Okay, we hit the bottom as well, but hey, start with what you got. Start with what you can do. That looks about right. Probably need a different bit, but if it works, it works. It's not quite what I needed, but at this point, like that part of the sliding dovetail, you're not even going to see. It's going to be hidden. So if I'm a little bit bad, I'm a little bit bad. Had a small scare this morning as well, as the streaming computer didn't want to work properly when I fired it up. Oh. There we go. Stop there. Oh, is Rage it? Hey, Rage. Glad to see you back. Always glad to see you come in. And feel free to lurk, like you said. All right. How about there? Sounds good. Yeah. Yep, okay, glad I put money down for the 12-inch brace. This is making work much easier on some of this. This oh, thank you for that, Raid. Like I said, perfectly fine. Love people just at least chilling and watching. I was pretty much surprised when I started doing this how much people just enjoy watching this. Ooh, okay, that's a little scuffed up, but it's the underside. We're gonna leave this out for a bit. We're gonna put the bits away though, as they take up space. All right. Now, I'm going to grab some chisels. No. Be smart. Crosscut saw. Because the first thing you want to do is cross-cut everything, honestly. Some wax. And then also maybe we're gonna take a quick sip of coffee. So for the first time in a while, you guys are gonna see me just cock my wrist to the side because we're cutting dovetails, so I'm gonna be making a cross cut to the side. Let's get you to sit on there for just a bit longer. You're still just warm and not hot. Warm it up, hot plate. I'm gonna get this guy out of the way as well, the paste box for my depth gauge. All right. So, this is gonna be all kinds of fun. I keep thinking to myself, you can tell it's morning. Somebody didn't scoop out the waste. Scoopy, scoopy. And give myself a bed for the saw blade to sit in. Okay, good. If it's just smuts on your glasses, that's good. That's always fun when you wake up to that kind of stuff. I was like, gunk in my eye? What's going on here? So, I do not think I will be doing the Craftsman Guild Challenge this time. I was working on it very slowly and very behind schedule. But now, due to yesterday, it's not I'm behind schedule, it is I botched it up, so there's no way to recover from it any kind of expedience. Basically, I was using a router and a template bit, and the plunge function decided to stop working halfway through. So the template's a little bit marred up, the leg is beyond repair, and I lost a good chunk of cherry doing it. So the camp chair table combo can wait for a little bit. Who knows? I might just build a bow saw, since I have the kit for it, and just build it by hand. The more I do this stuff, the more I find I'm much more comfortable working with hand tools than power tools. Like, the one problem I always had with power tools is if you screw up very badly, very fast. And it always kind of irked me that, like, you go from repairable to irredeemable very fast. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll make a wooden leg and send it off to Obsessed. That would be kind of funny. Yeah, but with hand tools, like, I'm moving slow and deliberate, so I've been finding that mistakes are less frequent, but also less severe. Maybe I didn't do that. So I'm having, I guess, a much more enjoyable time with hand tools. And I seem to be making better quality stuff in the long run. If that makes any sense. very true, Mecca. And honestly, I'm finding more and more that this is the more enjoyable journey for me. It's slow, but slow and deliberate, but very enjoyable. Like I said, I'm still actually relatively new to hand tool woodworking. This is maybe year 2. Yeah, we're just going to chisel that part down. So. Oh, somebody a dum-dum. I can't. No, I can, kind of. Nope, okay. All right. I know you're busy, Slarty, so don't worry about it. Have fun at D&D. I mean, honestly, I could just take it off of anything I've scribed here. Let's leave that one alone. We have a second bevel gauge, though. It's almost like it was meant to be. There we go. Just kind of try and make it parallel. I didn't think about this. I didn't think about this. make myself a guide. Now I have something that registers as the angle I want. Now we fall down on the line. Okay, that's actually working fairly well for me. That seems to be what I'm going to be using. The problem is since it's stopped, we really can't go too far. I'm going to be chewing small portions very slowly. But it's working. So we can get a longer stroke here to make a groove that is slightly deeper there so that we can start picking away. It's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time, one bite at a time. Oh, this is going to be a fun time. But also, let's see if we can this real quick. Okay, good. Thank you. That's a good one, Mecca. Honestly, I feel more natural doing it this way, so we're gonna switch to this side real quick. I'm going to start by getting at least a kerf going on all of them. That way I've got the angle cut in. For all of them, and we can just slowly make do. Because that cut right there is really making a difference on this right here. It gives you a nice guide to reference all the way down. Even though I'm kind of wondering if I have the right saw for it at this point. Let's see if you'll do anything. I mean, it's not going to be much better, but... It feels better though. Not necessarily that it's cutting faster or anything, it feels better than, because I'm able to drop this lower because of the grip we have. So let's see what I can do. Well, hello there, Excellent Chance. How you doing? Right now we're trying to cut stopped grooves for sliding dovetails. One of the three will get there eventually. Yeah, I think this might be a more appropriate saw for it. Come on. There we go. Hey Yankee, how you doing? How you doing? Right now we're just torturing myself with sliding dovetail. Oh, okay, 1 second. This may not be the saw of choice. Who knows? Let's see what we got here. We're just gonna. Oh, but I'm not right-handed. There we go. Just not sure if this is. Just, this also has such a smaller tooth that I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, well, let's find out. I think part of it is just that it's hard to clear out the curves on a stop cut. I think I may just need to start chiseling away, as bad as that sounds. It is. This is actually a cross-cut carcass saw. The other was actually a dovetail saw. So thinner set on the dovetail, smaller teeth. Also, this is rip cut, which not necessarily the best thing to use cross-cut, but still can cross-cut, unlike the other way around. But I think this one's actually clearing the dust comparatively. This one feels like it's at least cutting and it's not jamming anywhere near as bad. In fact, I can tell it's cutting. Come on. Probably. Well, a rip teeth will cut either direction, which makes more sense. Crosscut is really optimized for, you guessed it, crosscuts. Okay. Let's try something a little bit different. Try something just a wee bit different here. Okay. This one is... That's the problem with changing to a dovetail saw before you do anything else. Kerf is mighty thin. Come on. Anyway. Who would have guessed? Oh, come on. Rise up. I know it looks like I'm struggling. I swear I'm not struggling, but I know I am. Come on, thank you. It's because that initial cut was a little off axis, so I'm trying to make sure we're getting a straight cut, even though we aren't. Screw it. Just do it my way then. There. There we go. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, nothing you hand file is ever going to be pure rip. Come on. this whole stopped cut thing is driving me bonkers. But to each their own. Maybe I should have just made this through cut instead, but we're gonna live through it. Okay. What's this? What's this? What's almost here. Yeah, I should never have just changed saws, is what I'm seeing now. Because now I got to cut through the thin plate because there we go. Don't worry guys, I'm learning as I go. Learning like an idiot, but learning as I go. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, yep, we're doing better. Let me do this real quick. I don't need you. Put you back up. I also do not need you. Put you back up. I got plenty of stuff in here. I forgot, once you get the front established, just lift the back end of the saw blade. We're almost down to depth. On this side, as far as I can tell. And by down almost, I mean there's still a good bit, but it's working now. And it's going faster. Hey, life in pain. I don't even know if I have it at the right angle anymore. Okay, that's about as deep as I can go on that cut. Because inevitably we're going to have to take it out with a chisel eventually. Hey, Texas, TSA, how you doing? I think the first half is always me establishing a way to do it best for me, and then everything gets better. Okay. Just slowly trying to make things work for me. Slowly getting there. Yeah, sliding dovetails. Hand cut. Not the smartest idea, but we're doing it. If you say so. My pants are just brown jeans, so I'm not sure where you're getting that at. Okay. Let's see how the coffee's doing. Is it warmed up finally? Much better. Warms your bladder and soul. Coffee. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, Texas. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, TSA. No, I've lurked in yours for a little while every once in a while. Can we get a shout out to Texas there? Because I know. Oh. Everyone's the same. Honestly, we're all just like, wait, what? Oh, well, good to know. Good to know, TSA. Thanks. I'm guessing Mecca did that. And we're getting somewhere. Now that we got a deep enough trough, we can just start going at it. With every pass of the saw, I keep going, I should have made it a through cut. But I really like this little live edge portion, so I kind of want to keep it. And I don't want to put like just a dovetail standing out on it, or have to, I mean, all I'd have to do is try and match the flow of it, but why not amp it up even more? Make it even harder on myself. That's what we're here for. Make it hard on myself. Honestly thought I'd be done cutting these by now. Okay, we're making some depth. You know, if I put the broken one in there, not broken, but One with the bent up tip. I wonder, this is a stupid idea, guys, but you know, just shove that tip in there. Will it clamp it straight? It will, but that's your answer. Until I can fix that, until I peen that thing straight, no. Because quite literally will not move. What are we in? How so, Texas? How's it a slow start for you? I mean, today's a slow start for me, but that's several steps in the making of almost not having a computer. Oh, okay, I see why that's doing that. We can fix that real fast. Worried about that. But yeah, I can understand that. Yesterday was more of a chore day for us. Thinking we may need to take the approach of just chiseling these out, like getting them cut as much as possible and then just chiseling them out. I mean, I'm going to have to chisel them at some point anyways, but I don't think we're getting all the way down on that side for any of them. I wouldn't let the missus hear that. Alright. Do we have anything other than that hydrate? We had a couple hydrates. Oh, geez, is there a pirate hat as well? Jesus, guys. Or was that from like a while ago? Mecca, can you confirm that for me? Is there a pirate hat supposed to be active? I don't know about up here, but down where I actually did high school, yes. I was actually the president of the FFA for 3 years. Or no. For 2 years, I was vice president 1 year. and our first year in the FFA was always the junior FFA or whatever. So the junior chapter, so I was president of the junior chapter my freshman year in high school. We did more of the forestry stuff though, honestly, at ours. Forestry, land surveying, a little too much pressure. Maybe one day I'll have to wear my jacket during a stream. My nice blue jacket, as they call it, comes out purple when you first get it and takes years to turn blue. Okay, so I must be looking at last week then. It does that. It just shows everything. It gives you a time stamp, but doesn't give you a day stamp. That's another thing I kind of irk at with the way this app works. Okay, let's just start knocking out some pieces and seeing how this works. Because I know that that's the steps. You never get all the way down, but the back end doesn't have to be pretty. Nobody has to see how that looks because it's stopped. Okay. But we are going to like having this because that'll be a good chisel guide. All right. And the key is work this way out. Do 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 do. Loud noises. Loud noises. Okay. I mean, that's fine, Mecca. Don't worry about it. Like I said, it was just one of those things I noticed while I was scrolling through the sub, follow, redeem list, and like I said, this thing is terrible. It doesn't tell you, it only gives you a timestamp. It doesn't give you a day stamp, but it will tell you stuff from weeks ago. Now we start taking it out. old-fashioned way. There is a score here. I probably should actually knife it a little bit, but what I should be doing, now I think about it, give me a second, I'm just gonna walk around to the bench. What you really do, and nobody's gonna see this joint in the first place, but kind of just blow the front out a little bit right now. I think about it. I'm not going full depth, but that typically helps, yeah. There we go. Haven't had enough coffee yet. Thank you, Rage. No, I should be doing that anyways. But luckily, like I said, this is one of those, nobody will see this joint, so nobody will know, except me and everyone watching me build it. But also, since it's a sliding dovetail that no one will see, it makes it very good for a candidate for a first sliding dovetail. Oh, I know I'll know. But I've got it chipped back fairly far now. I'd rather have someone call me out on it because it's better practice to do it right the first time. Then to, whoo, got hit in the ear with that. Then to curse on stream and learn my lesson later. But at some point in time, the routers are coming out, my little hand routers. This also allows me to figure out exactly where needs to still be cut. Keep forgetting about that. I'm making this way more difficult on myself than I should be, because I should be sawing out like good chunks of this to going insane. Should be putting a relief cut in, so let's do that. Show you guys the steps I should be taking. Because since it's a dovetail, you want to be able to break the material up in smaller than full pieces. All right, wrench, I'll get that drop of coffee in me here soon. By the way, how you doing, wrench? I'm just glad I'm moving forward on this. Really and truly just glad that I'm moving forward. There we go. Got me. You are doing. That's all we need to know. So, luckily, with what we're doing right now, this is about as much as we care. We're not really following the line. We're just making reliefs now, so that stuff chips out easier. Luckily, this cut will go way, way faster. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I experimented, spent a little money on Sticker Mule, and I actually really like it. It's one of their wall decals. Now, did it go on nicely? No, but that doesn't really matter. When you look at the wall that it's stuck on, there was no way it was going on nicely. Okay, we're almost there. This one's going to be a pain, but because I skipped a step, yes, I skipped a step. Okay. I'll just stay in there. Like I said, these are just relief cuts so that as I'm chiseling this stuff out, it goes out in smaller pieces. Especially since it's a wedge shape going down, you want at least like a center strip flying out as fast as possible so that everything else can. I was a dum-dum, didn't realize what I was doing until just now. We'd probably be mostly done by now if I would have just made it a through cut. I would have just made it all the way through instead, because then we wouldn't have this stop to play with. But, no need in crying over spilt milk at this point. We're gonna go in the hard way. No. Those are already cut. So, here's the sliding dovetails. They were finished on Wednesday. Then we slide those in, and then we start joinery on a different part. Good one there, TSA. Oh, not dropping another one. Once these are cut and leveled out, the feet will be ready basically to go in. This is kind of a fun one. Yes, these were cut to be through, if you notice. Now I changed my mind, but these will go in, and at this stop, we're going to cut like just a little L shape out so that we have a place to use holdfasts on to hold this down. This is actually the underside of a bench top, basically. We will need to put a mortise on this face, and then or put a tenon on this face, a mortise on the vise face. Put those together, and then we're basically done, I think, at that point. Hey, Random, how you doing? Or if you're just talking about these little relief cuts that I'm doing, we'll be chiseling stuff out. I forgot to relief cut this one. That's why I'm doing it now. Trying to get as much relief cut in as possible now that I realize what I did wrong. This one is going to take a little finessing to cut, but All right. Hearing something clicking. Ah, I see what it is now. Okay. Because these are stopped, getting full depth cuts back here is kind of hard with a saw, or just getting a depth cut at all with a saw is kind of hard because we're stopping right there. Come on. Keep hearing weird things. Oh yeah, you could do stuff like this with a table saw or a router. Or any traditionally stopped ones are done with a router. Well, I don't want to say traditionally, but contemporarily they are done with a router. Because I mean, slap in a dovetail bit and just route, put a guide on there, route up, down, you're done. I'm just the crazy one who does hand tool woodworking. It's all okay. But yeah, there are many different ways to do this without pain and suffering. Although, like I said, like I talked to Mecca before, I'm finding hand tools much more rewarding and much less prone to big accidents that kind of just destroy the piece you're working on. For instance, how do you like that? That's what happens when the plunge function on your router stops working. And it decides to eat through your template instead of right against it. It just released itself right in the middle of a cut. Well, actually, you gotta realize, let me point out one thing here. This right here is not template side. This is. So, like this is, like it was doing good, and then right about here, it started to lift on me, and it dug itself about a 1/4 inch into the template. But the big wavy side is just me trying to get it to, you know, me resetting everything and going in. So the wavy side is not actually, the scary looking side is not actually anywhere near the template. But after it ate in twice, I was like, okay, we're done here. No, I haven't. Not to be cheeky, but that's just a skill set I don't have. And that's also a lot of tools that I don't have. Like, I could do it, I don't have the tools for it. I probably don't have a good enough skill for it either. Okay, let's start there and see where we're going. Put the saw back up. Okay. But yeah, no, I'm not a metal worker, most definitely. All right, now to have fun with chisels. Because now it breaks in smaller pieces, like it should. Huzzah! Okay. We're going to fix this real quick. Give myself 2 points of anchor. All right. Perhaps. Oh, wait, before I start this. Let's start by reducing the chance of crying in the long run. Now, death of trees is normal for me. Okay. Oh God, this is doing so much better. Look at all them chips. Yes, I did actually. The walnut is, the handle is walnut. I about said the walnut is handle. The handle is walnut and the top is Osage orange. Tell you the truth, if I ever make another one, as much as I didn't like making it with Osage orange, I don't think I'm going to choose a different wood for the head. If I can get Osage orange, I'm going to continue because this stuff will hand out a beating. The idea is to get as close to the baseline as possible so that I can get to hand routing distance. And I'm right now just kind of chewing up this backside so that we have a bunch of marks so it doesn't blow out too far. But whew, this thing definitely Much better, okay. Hey, Slarty. I mean, it is a tough wood. I wouldn't be surprised if I could get a slab of this stuff. I would make it a bench top because good luck. Once you get that thing level, I don't know how. I mean, I have been pounding this thing away for 2 years, and I'm like, this is like hard pounding, so like using it as just a level surface to do this kind of stuff on, man, it'd be good. Okay, coffee break. Oh, that sounds like a fun one there, Slarty. That sounds like a fun one. See, what time is it? We're getting close to noon. We may be breaking for lunch here soon. I'm actually glad we're at least at cutting, like clearing out the grooves. But yeah, that sounds, ouch. Yep, she's moving. Slarty's coming to chastise me. Just joking. Few more seconds. Okay. I mean, that's easy peasy for me to fix. Because that's one of the things I got away from Streamlabs as fast as possible. Still working on my transition though. Oh, this is going to be a long process, I can tell now. Heck, while I'm at it. Might as well make this look nice. We'll start with squaring it off, and then we will transfer the angle. I mean, if you store stuff in a non-regulated climate, it's going to shrink. You know that. Okay, at least the back edge looks nice now on that. Let's continue on. Make this back edge nice because we're going to have to just slowly make our way to that. Let's just use this. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to sing today? Give me a second here. Just give me a quick second to think of something. Let's just go with the easy ones here. 2 seconds here. I'm going to hydrate my vocal cords so that you guys can scream for me to stop. Honestly, it's been a while, so we'll just do one of the easier ones. What should you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What should you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Way, hey, up she rises, petting blocks of different sizes. Way, hey, up she rises early in the morning. Throw him in a longboat till he's sober. Throw him in a longboat till he's sober. Throw him in a longboat till he's sober early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises, petting blocks of different sizes. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Make him stay and bail her over. Make him stay and bail her over. Make him stay and bail her over early in the morning. What should you do with a drunken sailor? What should you do with a drunken sailor? What should you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Shove a lobster down his britches. Shove a lobster down his britches. Shove a lobster down his britches early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises, petting blocks of different sizes. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Make him kiss the gunner's daughter. Make him kiss the gunner's daughter. Make him kiss the gunner's daughter early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises, petting blocks of different sizes. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Throw him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Throw him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Throw him in the bed with the captain's daughter early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises, and blocks of different sizes. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. All right, I think might. Oh, that's great, Texas. That's great. Our great grandfather's generation. I mean, I am doing something as different as just strictly hand tool woodworking. There's no video evidence anymore of the power tools. I think we'll chisel a little bit more, and then we're probably going to have to bring the saws out to define that edge again. But we're getting close. Oh, let's do this. To possibly, I mean, all we really have to do is define that edge. We're at that depth there. So. Because we can get down to routing the bottom with the hand routers, might as well bring him out. Bring out the 71, because we know we're going to be using it at some point. Might even use the depth stop on her. Yeah, we might be at the point of having to saw again here. But I think we're doing pretty good for our first set of sliding dovetails. We're literally getting somewhere. So I think with it being about noon o'clock here, I'm gonna go ahead and call a quick break here and see you guys after I get some food in me. All right, hope you guys don't mind. Just as a reminder, I do run some ads whenever we do go into a longer break, so I will see you guys in about anywhere between 15-30 minutes for lunch, and we'll be back at it. Okay. Okay. All right. We are back. Uh-oh. It should still be going, right? Right? Yeah, it still says I'm going. Good, good, good. All right. Looks like we are doing good. So the current plan is chisel down to the existing saw marks and then try and saw the rest of the way down. Ow, blah, 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 blah. Because we're almost down there on this one. I think. This one's basically ready to go to that step anyways. Right, so let's see how far we got to go on this guy. Honestly, it looks like we just failed to cut anything of use down in this one, so we probably just need to flip anyways, but before we do that, we got plenty of depth on this side, so. Yes, I am. I am back. I guess 8 at record speed. You know, I was just lucky that there were leftovers that were easy to heat and reheat and just eat right now. Okay, I think I need to start sawing the edge lines again. Where are you at? There you are. Okay. But we're getting somewhere. Ooh. That would be no fun. Look at all these little wood chips. Great for starting a fire. It's been decently warm-ish, so maybe maybe a fire tonight. When I say fire, it's like a fire bowl slash pit thing. So, sitting outside. Come back here. Thank you. All right. There you are. So, my idea is, now that we've got a good amount of waste out of the way, the sawdust won't clog it up because it is a stop cut. I do not. If I did, this would be so much easier. That's something I may invest in at some point. Okay, evidence. Yeah, it's cutting a lot easier. So I think we just got down to the point where we weren't able to eject enough of the sawdust to let it cut effectively. Because now it's having a heyday. So now we know, cut diagonal, chip, come back with a saw, until we have something like a dovetail plane. And honestly, I probably will never make sliding dovetails this big again, because the next time I do a sliding dovetail, it's going to be for something like 3/4 inch material at the thickest. And I can actually clear the saw path right now just by blowing it out. But I am actually very happy with the progress we're making right now. I mean, I don't expect them to fit immediately. I expect, hopefully by the end of the day, we have them cut and we're kind of dry fitting and tuning in the fit. Purchased a Roubeau saw kit and I realized yeah, I've thought about a Roubeau saw kit as well, but honestly, I think the next thing I'm going to make is a turning saw, because I do have a turning saw kit already. And it's funny because, like, when you think about it, it's just the same thing. It's a slightly bigger version of a coping saw, and I'm like, I already have a coping saw. I'm going to be using a coping saw to build it. Yeah. I do not currently have a bandsaw though, but I really do want one. I mean, if you don't want that Roubeau saw, I'll give it a good home. How we doing? We still got some time.
Whoa, what do we got here? Well, hello there, Naked Carpenter. Thank you for the follow, man. Oh, follows are always appreciated. Got any questions on the build? Feel free to ask.
We're currently cutting sliding dovetail grooves. I don't know what to call them because they're not pins, they're not tails. The tails are already cut. Tails are right here, so we're cutting the grooves to house them. They are stopped grooves, which is proving to be a fun point in time.
But if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer them as best as I can. I tend to be a hand tool woodworker. Like I said, Grade, you just keep presenting more and more arguments on why I should be giving that a good home. Okay, I think that's close to bottom there. Trade for something, we'll see. What are you deficient in? Okay, this one's going to be a little bit harder to cut just because of that. Okay. Oh, I mean, all I've got is cherry at the moment. Don't know how good cherry is for you.
Let's try something real quick here. Actually, put this back up. I didn't think about that. Never started the top of that one. Well, okay, that's just a sheen here. I mean, this is about as much as I've got for super figured stuff. There's just a chunk of maple I have, but I wouldn't think that that's enough for your robot saw. But I'll keep an eye out and I'll see what I can do to tempt you. Okay, yeah, that's how we're going to have to do this. Okay. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's just. We're gonna speed this along the old-fashioned way.
That's exactly what the problem is on this side, so we'll get to that in a second. See if I can get this going. But I'll keep an eye out, see if there's anything I think might be able to trade for it. Okay, good. That is cutting a ridge. Good, good, good. It was leftover dinner from last night. In all honesty, it was a chicken couscous mix of stuff. Chicken and couscous, not chicken flavored couscous. Although there was chicken flavoring in the couscous because we cooked it in chicken broth type stuff. So it's pretty good. Right now we're cutting the recess wall a little bit further down now that we don't have this giant wall, just giant saw curve just collecting the dust and making it hard to cut. Now we're actually getting somewhere. Because once we get the curves all cut, we can possibly just start going at it with a router plane. Although I'd probably want to keep going at it with a chisel for a little bit until it's decently deep. But I think we will have these slots basically cut and ready for, finagle fitting by the end of the string today. Do. It probably doesn't need it, but it's always good to put a little wax on the blade every once in a while, just in case you burned it all out. Also, yeah, it probably did need it because now it's cutting like a dream. Need a little bit of lubrication on the blade. Oh, why'd you have to say that? Texas? They're not supposed to know that I actually live in a dollhouse. That I'm, just about the size of a Ken doll. Now everyone knows. Oh wait, I probably shouldn't have confirmed your theory there. That I'm only about, 5 inches tall, 6 inches tall. It's very hard to put a cat back in the bag. Once they know it exists, they don't want to go back in. Okay, that's pretty much to depth there. Anything further can be done with a chisel. Oh, wait. You want to pare these sides down, make sure we don't have any pain going on. Okay, let's see if that was paired enough to continue on. Oh yeah, that's why. Let me recess this a bit. Okay. Sorry. Yes, very true. I mean, the biggest clue is you never see any power tools in this stream because they don't make power tools small enough. Well, they do, but they're kind of dangerous. Have you seen that super small table saw? It'd be right about the right size, but there's no safety equipment on it at all. But that's about it. That's the only thing I've seen power tool wise is that super small, like Harbor Freight table saw, like the little desktop table saw that's only, you know, about, takes like a 3-inch blade in it or something like that. Whoa, what do we got here? Pantheist and the Tree. Pantheist and the Tree, thank you for the follow. I'm probably just going to call you Pantheist, just because long names. But thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoy watching repetitive tasks because I'm a hand tool woodworker, and a lot of what you're going to see is me doing the same thing for an entire stream. Like today we are cutting the grooves for stopped sliding dovetails. We're almost to the point of being able to finagle the fit. And in case you're wondering what a stopped sliding dovetail is, this is the groove. Unlike normal dovetails, there is just one very large dovetail that goes the length of the board, and I'm just making the dovetailed groove for it to sit in, and it does not go all the way through. It'll come in this way, but there is a wall. We're going to have about an inch thickness on this side for it to stop again, so you don't see it on this side. Okay, yeah, definitely another one for the FAQ. Believe it's Black Bear Forged, Black Bear Forge. But yeah, they are hand forged. You can actually, there is a YouTube video of the guy making, not these exactly, but making them and telling you how to make them. Hand forged or machine forged, I don't know the difference. He does have a power hammer. that he uses, but these are forged by him one at a time. Yeah, no, they are not cast. I know what cast metal does under high stress. These I would not buy cast. I don't care how safe someone may think they are. If they're cast, you can fracture them because cast metal is brittle. Forged is ductile, much more ductile. Okay, that one is sawn. Like I said, cast is kind of a demon. Okay, put my hands up against the saw. Who's ready to bleed on their wood? Who's ready to bleed on the wood? I am, I am, I am. Hard part is establishing the curve, since this curve was cut way shallow compared to everyone else. We could do this and go okay, that's starting to curve. I mean, if you want to, I'm not, I would actually, what kind of tools are you thinking of? I mean, these guys are probably very easy, hold fast. I'm not against being a guinea pig, I guess is what I was about to say. Because, I mean, if you look at most of what I have are like either the cheaper side of modern tools or the vintage side of older tools. You know, this is an old Stanley 71. How old is it? It doesn't even have the grooves in the base for the edge guide. That's how you know it's old. Still does good though. I think the newer ones have those grooves in them. I mean, as far as hammers, I can always use more hammers. Oh, did Owen stop in? I didn't see Owen stop in. Or are we just shouting out? Ah, gotcha. Yeah, Mecha catches everything. Well, I just finished lunch, Owen. I don't know if I still had the fun amount of cider I got for my birthday, I'd be drinking that right now. I was drinking it on Wednesday, actually. Which is funny, because I was drinking cider and making these massive sliding dovetails. Oh. And I guess, as a small announcement for anyone here, I do have a YouTube account now, or a YouTube channel, I should say. I've always had an account. Make sure this is all good. This isn't even all the way down. Okay. That I am posting old videos on from streams at the moment. I'm planning in the future, because I don't have too many of the old videos, but I do have everything that we've done with the Moxon Vise. So once the Moxon Vise is done, I'm planning on taking those streams and compiling them down into just a shorter version of the Moxon Vise stream, so that you guys can see it in the whole thing in 30 minutes as opposed to 30 hours. Whoa. I'm not sure what the do that. I understand completely. Oh, and I just started doing it, and I was let's see what I can do. Just to see what I could do. Are you kidding me? Come on. I have some cleanup to do on this side, but that's fine. Looking at this going, we still have some depth to go here as well. We'll just have to pare and fix the edges. But that's better than having to fully go hog wild. All right, loud noises coming your way. Let me put the carcass saw up real quick. Okay, carcass saw is up. Back here. Chisel time. Loud noises, part 2. All right. Back to chiseling out waste. wonder if I hit the camera with that. Oh, we got a good way to go here. Oh. I can definitely tell this bench was built for plane work and not chisel work. Gonna be feeling it tomorrow. But get it mostly to depth, then we take out the router plane. Because the second part, we can put a seat and sit. I think we're pretty much at that part, guys. Okay, so. Do. All right. Back relief. Do. Back relief. Move this over here. We actually do not need you anymore, so actually let's get you off. We'll just put you to the side for right now. I will put you up later. Because I have to take apart like 3 different things now that you have a depth stop on you. All right. All these sweet little cherry chips. Does anyone need some cherry for a smoker? Anyone barbecuing? Free cherry chips. Back this way. Just a little bit that way. Loud noises. All right, whew. Let's see if it'll do it. Okay. You gonna track me? No. How about now? Awesome. Okay, cool. Now you guys got, since I'm sitting down, why should you see the entire bench? Well, let's make sure. Okay, it's not tracking. We are going to start pairing for right now because it is uneven. It's nowhere near where we need to be, but we're getting close to that point where we're going to want a router plane. If we can even use the router plane. I didn't even think about it. This is kind of a deep cut for the router. Actually, let's find out. It's not like it's going to hurt me much. We will need to move the restraints though. Ah, okay. And we will put in the depth stop just to double check. Still want at least 2 points hitting. Dang, okay. That'll do. All right. Let's see. Okay, well, it was almost set up. Okay, there. We don't really need you at the moment, but it would be really nice if someone remembered to tighten it. Yes, this is going to be a slower approach, but it will yield better results. This is honestly one of the tools that I bought early on, and I was like, I could see where it's going to be useful, and then it is literally one of the tools that I've used the most. Like, honestly, if you can get your hands on a hand router, it helps with so many things. Dados, tenant, like there are so many different ways to use this thing that just, and it leaves such a nice surface. Like right now it's, I mean, you can see how rough this one is, And it's slowly just like, it's becoming more and more tamed as I'm slowly just moving it down a little, tighten it up. And it's just such a good thing. If you're doing cross grain, get the spear point. I have noticed that, like, if you're doing anything cross grain, get the spear point bit if you can. Doing stuff with the grain, the normal cutter is nice, but the spear point is, I don't want to say required for cross grain, but it leaves a much better finish. Like, because you can use the standard bit, nothing's stopping you, but the spear point shears the wood so you get a nice smooth finish. Ah, yeah. Mecca, do we know if Nail and Sledge are doing okay? I know they're going through a kind of a hard time here. Just want to make sure they're doing okay. Yep, we're right at the right time to just start doing this because it's cleaning up all the roughness. We didn't dive too deep with the chisels. Oh, this plane is just, oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. And he said, I'm not expecting Nail to show up anytime soon because of what's going on. All right, we may want to be dropping you in now. The depth stop. It's really not a depth stop. It just tells you, like, it just tells you, you hit your depth. That's all it do. It does not actually stop you. Right now it's telling me, you're about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch above your stop. So it's good to put it in and see where we're at. That's basically all it's there for. If it physically, like, unlike my little Lee Nielsen 271, the depth stop actually works on that one. You can, it will stop you from cutting any deeper. And, I mean, such a beautiful, beautiful wood. I love working with cherry. I may, once we're done with this and glued it up and got everything ready, I may set it outside for a week just to get it to red up. That reminds me, I also need to start posting on the Discord that my beard is coming back, so I don't look like a baby-faced lunatic anymore. What is this? This is 3 weeks now of growth. Put you over here for right now. Brush this out. Cherry. Very tasty. Very tasty indeed. Okay. Just starting to remove some fuzzies because we have them. We are very, very close to depth now. Now, every time I wonder, hey, did I start using the plane, the router plane a little too early? But the bottoms on my router plane cuts have been getting better, so I'm thinking that early on I was starting way too late because I wasn't able to redeem some mistakes with the chisels. Like, you just lived with the fact that the chisel dug a little too deep there. And now I'm getting bottoms that, they just look good. think we're almost to the final pass on this side. And that's it. Yep. This is right at the line, guys. Like I said, this is, I don't know why, but this is one of my favorite planes. It's just this little router plane. I was patient, found it for fairly cheap. It only had one cutter at the time, but now I have all of the Stanley cutters, plus a spare spare half-inch. That happened by accident. But still, well, hello, fish. Well, today's a longer stream today, so we have been cutting the grooves for the sliding dovetails. I know you were, I believe you were here Wednesday, so. But to recap, let me make sure I've got that open. Yeah, so to recap, this is our sliding dovetail. It goes pretty much full length of the board. This is the tabletop to, oh no, phone fall, someone put it on there. I have too much stuff on my bench right now. So right now we're cutting the mating groove into the tabletop, into the bench top portion of the vise. I'm using what's called a router plane, which earlier I cut everything with saws and kind of just chiseled to a rough depth, but this router plane has basically a blade in it that you can fix to a height, and just slice off layers of wood so you have a nice smooth cut in the bottom. All right. Get out the chisel, start cutting the furries, the fuzzies, so that we can be We had just started, we just approached depth on this one. Am I going to test it out? No, not yet. I'm going to get to depth on this one and then we can start finagling the fit, because I guarantee you the fit is not good. I can guarantee that. If a dovetail fits on the first try, you're a master. And your name is Frank Klaus. I wouldn't be surprised if he has tried sometimes. Just try and get some of these fuzzy edges off. So we do have some particularly stubborn ones. Oh, that's very interesting. That makes me work really. Makes me really wonder about the fit there. 1 second. What is this, 2? 2. Where's the front? Front, okay. Something tells me. Yep, that's exactly what I needed to see. That entire edge is a little shallow. Like I said, I'm going to have to finagle the fit, but either way, let's move on to this one. Vanity. Okay, 1 second. But the vanity I'm having redone, the guy just got the new veneer put on it and it looks night and day different from how it started. The guy doing it for me is going to try and find an age, but he's staining it a walnut color, as that's the type of wood it is. I wish I could get pictures to show. Well, don't worry too much about getting pictures here. If it's made out of walnut, I mean, that'd be pretty good. And now we start slowly stepping down this side, which I have much more faith that the saws are accurate as compared to this side. I'm probably going to have to run a saw in there or just start paring the entire edge here, because I think this got sawn at the wrong angle. This one, probably better. Okay. Drop and saw. Then bring it out, drop it a turn, saw. Really, it's just they're actually legs that are just going to be slid in. It's not a drawer slide at all. If it was a drawer slide, it'd be much smaller than this. They're typically only, maybe three quarters of an inch wide, 3/4 of an inch tall at the most. A lot easier to make, actually. These are to slide in just some legs. They'll actually end up being glued in place as well. Hey, Pyro, hadn't seen you in a bit. How are you doing? It's a router plane, yes. Specifically, this is a Stanley 71 router plane, but I mean, there are modern makers. Stanley doesn't make them anymore. Heck, Stanley hardly makes any hand tools anymore. I say as they do have a sweetheart line that they're trying to make. But. Okay. As you see, the roughness is basically gone away from where I hand chiseled it. And now we're just slowly working our way down. Okay, open, quarter turn down. And here's the thing. These are basically, the depth is right at the limit. It's like just under the limit of what I can do with this router plane. So I'm very thankful about that. It's one of my favorites, Rage. It is one of my favorites. I think you actually found me, Rage, when I was first starting to use the router plane way back. And having a hell of a time trying to use it. I've since then gotten much better at using it. I didn't have a full concept of how thick of a cut is too thick of a cut. And now I just plow right through everything. Also getting this diamond point or spear point bit for it really opened up the avenues. Because I'm no longer doing that just to try and get through the grain. Okay, let's give it a... Yeah, that very true. That's why I'm stupid happy I got a spear point. Because makes this kind of stuff very easy to just kind of plow right through. Also, because I'm not trying to do this through southern yellow pine, staring at you, Sawbench. where I go through a soft bit of wood and then a hard bit of wood because of the ring structure, and it just chatters the entire way. Disconnect all the fuzzies, disconnecting all the fuzzies. Yeah, this one's going to have a lot less finagling to do. I can tell that looks like it's sawn at the correct angle all the way down as opposed to these guys here. You always have a need. You're just not thinking hard enough there, Rage. I'll never give mine up. I love this thing. Okay. Almost to depth, almost to depth. But then again, yeah, I don't really know because you're a guitar guy. Okay, you're not tight, you're not loosening, good. But I find this thing indispensable for hand tool woodworking. Just for what I'm doing right now, cleaning the bottom of a groove. Because a lot of what I like to do involves dados. And this thing is perfect for making the bottom of a dado nice and smooth and ready to go. Oh, okay. That helps me see what is still fuzz and what is just nothing. Fuzz here. Yeah, I was about to say, last time I saw you, you were using a CNC, so I don't even know if this would even be of any use to you, because you got that computer cutting it all for you. Well, we guessed the depth of those stop drill points fairly well because you can just barely make the outline of the circle here, and we got one more layer to go on here as well. One more turn of the plane to get where we need to go. Wasn't expecting the grain to blow up like that, but it's still doing pretty good. Okay. And we have that tiny bit of edge blowout, but I'm not really worried about that. And that was self-inflicted earlier. It wasn't from this plane. But that tiny bit doesn't matter to me. take it off. Like I said, it's going to be hidden behind a bunch of other stuff anyways. Nothing like confounding people later when they realize this is all done with dovetails. We can't see all the dovetails. How do we take this apart? Once again, does anyone need cherry chips for a barbecue? We need to clean the back out a good bit. We also need to clean the back out of there a good bit. But let's continue on slicing the stuff that didn't get sliced quite properly yet. Because I know how this plane works. It will try to jump over some stubborn parts. That's why you do it a couple times at the same depth. Otherwise you got a little bit of a waveform going. Okay, let's see where we're at. See? Especially at the front. And that's why you see me do this all the time at the front, just to make sure we've registered completely on the front. Now we're gonna, okay. Now, again, get rid of the fuzz. Time to clean these back corners up as well. It's not fuzz back there, it's they're not properly chiseled out. This is just something I have to do. There's really no way around it. You just have to clean up the back the old-fashioned way.
let's see, that's one. Number one, where's the front? Front's there.
That's not good.
Okay.
So we're now to the finagling part of the stream.
We need to finagle. Get things to fit.
At least side one doing way better. So side one it is. Why am I finagling the groove and not the tail? Because the groove is a definite problem right now. I mean, it's basically, you can tell that it's not the full width. It does need some paring down. So we're going to make this as nice as possible, see how it fits, and then reassess from there. Kind of thing. It would help if I put the We're not done paring this down. I just saw a depth line. I just saw a depth line here. Where are we? I don't know anymore. Where's my front mark? Okay, thank you. Rubber mallet, you're the one. You leave less marks, even though you're less fun. Oh, that's going to be a nice tight joint. Oh, that just confirms it. Really, all that I think's holding this up is right at the lower edge. Woo! Having fun, guys. But we are getting close to the 2 o'clock mark, which is usually when I traditionally stop the stream on for long streams. I'm just glad we got this far because we have the grooves cut. It may not be fit. This one's definitely not fit. This one definitely has way more work for it. I mean, way more. You can tell where. Oh man. I don't even know how I'm going to fix that one because it goes from slanted to almost straight up and down here. Same here. I just do not know how I'm going to fix this one. I guess the only way I know how is pare it into position. Because the fronts are cut correctly. Yeah, it is, Pyro. Until we have this, till we have both of them seating well, we're not moving on to the next portion of the build. So, oh, looks like I found the way I'm doing this. Okay, because the front, like I said, the front is angled correctly, so we just gotta follow it, create a guide and follow it. And if I got to pare all the way down, we got to pare all the way down. You may not see that on the stream. I may slowly work at that on my own, just so you don't get bored by someone just doing this the entire time. But I think, like I said, we're getting close to the end point for a Sunday stream for me. That's why I don't typically use that one. It just, I know Mr. Sellers likes his rubber mallets, but it just doesn't dead transfer the energy like a regular mallet. And I know he likes regular mallets too, but I cannot get behind using one of these for chisel work. For assembly work, oh, rubber mallets are great, but chisel work, I just can't get behind it. Let me define this corner first before we finish off today. I think is what's going to be the more important thing. Because once the corner's defined, I can just sit there and pare all day long. Okay, that's following the guidelines we'd set out. That's good. That gives me a start for pairing. Because we're just going to have to pare them down. All right. Let's see what we got here, guys. I hate to leave you guys in such a amazingly enthralling stream. Oh man, nobody is streaming today. I wonder why. Is it Super Bowl Sunday? I could care less about sports ball. All right, let's see who's in Makers and Crafters. Let's see. Making keyboards, bead art. Looks like making a pattern for, got Legos. Needlecraft, got anything. Hey, if you got, we may, if I don't see anything here soon, oh, we got someone making wands. If I don't see anything here soon, we may just continue working until he's off of lunch and then raid into him. That might sound Yeah, I saw Harefoot. We've got that. So Harefoot's making wands. We got candle making. Is that the one you were talking about? All right. So we got candle making or wands at the moment. What do you guys think? Oh, that's nice. I can see the red telling me I'm running out of juice there. I think that is basically it. I think that is what we've got. Candle maker or wands? So Tetsuba Samurai. Yeah, if we so Owen, if you just want to tell me when he's back from lunch. Oh, don't worry about it, Mecca. Don't worry about it. But if you want to tell me when Boogie's back from lunch, we'll raid into him. And I'll just sit here and pair for a bit until then. How about that? Okay. Well, then we're gonna raid in here in just a minute, because I need to get that. I need to find it on here because I am a special boy. With the way this works. Because this will allow me to continue up. There's me. There it is. Okay. All right. Yeah, I noticed he was out, or at least not on the. But either way. We'll just try and make his day. So we're going to go ahead and raid out to the Boogie King. Show him love, guys.